Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Let's take a look at market conditions here today. Looks like we're going to gap a little bit lower today based on Microsoft's earnings. Looks like more about their guidance, their forecast, which looks to be a little bit lighter, so they're moving down a little bit this morning. We'll see if the entire market follows, or if you get a gap lower and then a continuation back to the upside. We are bullish in this bear market. Still, that will continue to be the case, at least that overall bear market, until this gets all the way back up here and crosses this. So you can see we've got a ways to go. This was a pretty deep retracement. This number here, this 11.25 number, it got all the way down to negative 20, and traditionally my indicator stops at about negative 5. So we've had a pretty deep sell-off, not inside the norm. But that can sometimes happen. So that's part of the reason why you'll notice that it's stuck right there at negative 5, just because it traditionally doesn't go much deeper than that. But we've really sold off here. So we've got a lot of work to do to recover in terms of getting back into an overall long-term uptrend. But the markets are working on that currently. Not a whole lot of information that's new on this update, on this particular indicator. We did shift momentum back to the upside. Breadth still pretty solid, not super solid, but to the upside. 70, it's sitting right around a 70, 67, meaning that it's about 70% of S&P 500 stocks are trending higher, which is the market for in essence, and that's kind of what we're looking for, and that'll ultimately control the direction. Is if the majority are moving higher or lower. Sentiment is still really optimistic at this point. We've got buy-sell ratios, which are back up to that upper range here, and traditionally, at least towards this market bottom, back earlier in the bear market, we just didn't get a lot of participation to the upside, more participation to the downside. These number spikes are just corresponding to the number of sells in the database or the number of buys in the database. And so you can see when that happens, and you get these real extreme levels that they're just not sustainable and they can snap back. So we'll see if this moves up a little bit higher, or if we start to top out here and get some volatility in this range. That could still mean we trend higher or sideways, but we are approaching that upper range, which we want to be a little bit cautious of. And sentiment is also in that range where it has reversed before. It's kind of these levels, but not spiked up to that upper range quite yet. Doesn't necessarily have to, but typically works its way up towards that upper range. One other thing I wanted to show you today that you've got access to in the software is if you're a penny stock enthusiast, if you go here to this screener page and go to this orange button and this drop down, there's a scan in here that's called penny volume spike, and this pulls up some fun stocks to look at. Again, they're very speculative, very penny stock-ish. Penny stocks traditionally are $5 and lower, but these a lot of times can be a dollar, 10, 15 cents, something like that. They and some of them are decent little picks. Right now there's some mining stocks in there. You'll see Denison Mines. You're seeing some gold mining stocks, and so there may be some speculative opportunity in there. This Denison Mines had a pretty decent run up right here, and you can see that some of those will move pretty quickly. So if you're looking for scans that are setting up for penny stocks, there's a couple there. That's one of them. The other one is under the muscle stocks tab, under this pennies tab right here. Not a lot in there right now, but it'll pull up something that looks like this. If that volume's in the way, you can just always uncheck it, but you can see a pretty big move, 20% move on that stock, on a pretty big volume spike, that green volume bar, big up day on that. So typically it'll pull in stocks that have the same uptrend pattern that we traditionally look at, but just on big volume spikes. Lots of different ways to be able to go through and focus on a lot of different ideas, a lot of different scans, whether they're fundamental, whether they're technical pattern in terms of the buy, sell, hold pattern. a lot of different things to be able to look at inside of that range. Let's take a quick look at Muscle Stocks Group here, the new buy list. Still looking at pharmaceuticals and biotech. This is a really anything medical in this last little run has been working pretty well, and we're continue to see that move higher. We've got some other things that are popping up in there as well, and we'll see what leads the market today. HROW, a nice breakout right there, and still inside that buy zone, relatively early in the buy zone too. So sometimes we get those real strong breakout days, and they push us all the way to extreme within one day. Those are a little bit harder trades to take because they can retrace back down a lot of that move. If you had a 20% move, it may retrace back 5, 6, 8, 10% the very next day, so you get a lot of volatility on those trades. So when you're watching for a new buy bar, really in any condition, even if you've got a breakout type condition, you're watching to see relatively early in that buy zone, somewhere in this range versus up in this range. It's a pretty easy way to eyeball where you're at in that current short-term trend for that particular stock. If you don't have full access to the site, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.